Vibe coding has changed a lot in the last year, but in the last few weeks, it's changed more than some of you might realize. And most people don't know that this is happening. So in this video, I want to break down the 5 big shifts that are happening in vibe coding today so that you know exactly how to build with AI the right way going into the rest of 2026. So in this video, we're going to break down the 5 shifts that are happening in vibe coding right now, what the future of building with AI looks like, and how to actually apply these lessons to your vibe coding or AI coding workflows today so that you can be ahead of 99% of other people. If you don't know me, my name is Chris, and for the last 15 years, I've been designing apps and advising startups on product and design. And if you are interested in building real applications and software with AI, and you want to learn how to do that and launch to real customers, I've got a community helping people do that. And you can find out more by clicking the link in the description down below. Otherwise, let's jump in and break down the 5 big shifts happening in vibe coding. And number 5 is going to completely change the way that you build. So the first big shift that is happening in vibe coding today is moving from AI coding inside of an editor or an IDE to AI agents that are coding anywhere. And what I mean by this is being able to access your coding sessions through multiple different agents from anywhere that you are, whether you're out and about and you're accessing your agents on your phone, or whether you're sitting at your desk and using your laptop. And not only that, but being able to use agents inside of different environments as well. So not just inside of an IDE or a coding environment, but being able to access your agents from inside of terminals, inside of other apps, and to communicate between different apps as well. Now, most of these big shifts are taken from the recent release of AMP's new coding agent and what they see as their vision of the future of AI coding agents and how people are going to use them over the next year and beyond. And AMP took their previous coding agent, they almost completely scrapped their entire product and rebuilt the entire coding agent from the ground based on first principles and what they saw as the future of AI coding. And if you want to explore some ways of leveraging this first big shift in vibe coding, and being able to go from AI coding inside of an editor to AI agents that are able to code anywhere, there are a few things that you can start using, that you can start looking at in order to improve the workflow that you already have. Tools like remote control from Claude Code, cloud agents from Cursor, and even the Replit and Lovable mobile apps. And not only that, we're also seeing connections happening between different environments like the terminal and your phone. So you're able to kick off a coding agent inside of the terminal and then carry on working with that coding agent on your phone until you get back to your desk and you can continue in the terminal. So these sessions for AI coding agents are actually transferable across different environments and different devices as well. This means that you're not just tied to coding at your desk on your laptop, but if you want to take your coding sessions elsewhere, whenever you go out, whenever you go to lunch, whenever you're working away from your desk, you can do that with these tools. So wherever you're vibe coding or coding with AI agents, look at the features and the options that they have there to use cloud-based agents in order to continue your vibe coding work when you're not sat at your desk inside of an editor. The second big shift that is happening in vibe coding is going from monitoring your own context to context auto-compaction. And if you've spent any time in AI coding tools, you know that that context bar fills up pretty quickly, and you have to keep on top of the context that is going into your chat so that the results you're getting from your AI coding agent don't suffer and the output quality isn't super low. But that is soon going to be a thing of the past. All of the frontier models and all of the leading AI coding agents in the world right now are developing systems where they can auto-compact memory and context in a conversation in a way which maintains the critical parts of your conversation, doesn't use up a load of tokens, and also doesn't suffer from context rot, which happens over an extended session where you have context compacted on top of each other multiple times and you lose all of that critical information that you need in the work that you're doing in that session. Now, this is one of the things that AMP's new AI coding agent is claiming to be able to fix with its auto-compaction. And we're going to see more and more of these frontier models and AI coding harnesses adopt auto-compaction as a default technique to maintaining context throughout a long conversation without the user having to keep constantly starting new conversations or new threads, which also presents its own problem because that means the agent has to go and reread the code base in order to get an understanding of what you're actually building and working on every time you start that new conversation. And so auto-compaction is just going to make it easier and easier to continue a long long running thread or series of chats where you don't have to worry about managing the context yourself, the AI agent is going to be able to do that. So a great way to think about how you can use this today is, are you spending a lot of time on context management? How can you reduce the amount of time you're spending on context management? And how can you start to trust these AI agents with auto-compaction a lot more than you used to, and to be aware that when these things come out and when these features are released in these AI coding agents, they're going to enable you to work even faster without worrying about how you manage the context for those agents. Big shift number 3 in vibe coding is going from send, wait, and review to being able to stack the queue. And what I mean by this is that as AI coding agents get more and more competent and successful at completing these tasks, especially smaller, more straightforward tasks, the easier it is to begin to queue up a lot of prompts, a lot of changes in a row as a sort of backlog or to-do list for the AI agent to actually go and complete without worrying too much about context switching or whether the AI agent is actually going to complete that task at a high enough quality. Now, previously, a lot of best practice for coding and vibe coding with AI coding agents is about making a change, building a feature, and then doing regular code review in order to maintain the quality of the code that is being written by the AI agent. And so all that this means in the long run is that you're going to start to see that window increase, where as you build with AI coding agents, you're not going to need to do code review as much, you're not going to need to review the code that it's writing as much, and you're not going to need to keep waiting to actually fix any of the issues that come out of that code. Now, this can combine really well with actually a very rigorous bug fixing and code review process, and you can even automate this where if you're working on a lot of code during the day, or if you're building an app or building anything where you're vibe coding with these coding agents, to set up automations where at the end of each day, it automatically goes and reviews the code that it's written that day, identifies any bugs, plans how to fix them, and then fixes them for you before you start work the next day on the next set of features that you want to build. And you can see this playing out inside of the new Codex desktop app from OpenAI, where when you submit a message to the coding agent and then you send follow-up messages on top of that, it actually stacks them in a line on top of each other, where you can drag those messages around inside of the queue, and you can send those messages straight to the agent directly to interrupt its chain of thought and actually steer the AI agent in the process that it's already working on. And if you want to start using this today, then start using something like the Codex desktop app and start getting comfortable with submitting those series of tasks and prompts on top of each other in a queue that the AI agent can work through one after the other without you having to directly supervise every single thing that it's doing. Big shift number 4 in vibe coding is going from approving every request and every permission to letting the agent cook. And there are people who are already doing this months ago, like Peter Steinberger, Riley Brown, and many others in the vibe coding and AI coding space, where they were already using dangerously skipped permissions pretty much 100% of the time. And the reason that this is happening is because of 2 things. First is the increase in the quality of the reasoning of the AI coding agent, and that it can actually make better decisions as it's going through step by step, trying to identify what it needs to do in a plan and actually build out the feature or the application that you're working on for you. And the second reason this is happening is because now with subagents and all of these different processes and reasoning steps that coding agents are running, there are just a vastly increased number of tool calls and permission requests, to the point where if you are manually approving those permissions, you can just sit there hitting yes, 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 approve constantly until the AI agent actually completes its work. And 99% of those approvals actually didn't need your input at all. And this is part of the reason why Anthropic and OpenAI have introduced the auto review modes as part of their coding agents. And the way that you can start using this today is to start working with these auto review modes for these coding agents to actually lower the permission levels that you have set as default in the coding tools that you're using, and to trust the agent and the model more in terms of what it's actually doing. And the final shift here in vibe coding is going from one project and one stream to multiple projects and multiple agents running at the same time. And part of being able to do this is actually just a skill issue in terms of how you use these AI coding tools. It's about building up the confidence to give these AI coding agents a bit more free rein in the tasks they're doing, to feel comfortable working across multiple projects, multiple folders at the same time, and to understand how you can orchestrate multiple agents across different sets of tasks where they aren't going to interfere with each other in terms of writing code to the same files and features inside of your code base, or creating conflicts and bugs that contradict each other. An easy way to start doing this is to think about what tasks can I do inside of my project that aren't necessarily to do with writing code. Maybe I want to create a launch video for my app idea, and I actually do that inside of my code base, because the agent will have context of the app that I'm actually building, and then you can use a skill like hyperframes to be able to build that launch video for you. You could also do things like conducting research, building context files, and turning code into a number of other assets, including websites, social posts, business strategies, presentations, spreadsheets, and a whole load of other things. And you can do all of this inside of these AI coding tools, especially now with tools like the new Codex desktop app from OpenAI, which is as good of a tool for just general purpose knowledge work as it is for writing any code or building software and applications. And so how you can get started with this today is to start using something like the OpenAI Codex app and start running multiple agents in multiple projects for different types of tasks. And not only that, but you can think about, how do I turn the projects that I'm working on into a folder on my computer which have a set of markdown files that give the agent context of what it needs to build, and how do I install the right skills into those projects to allow the agent to be able to do a whole set of other tasks like creating video, editing video, creating images, social posts, building websites, and all of the stuff that I mentioned previously. And so those are the 5 big shifts that are happening in vibe coding and AI coding right now. And so if you're building with AI, you need to be aware of these things, what is happening in the AI coding space, and how to adjust and change your workflows so that you're building skills that are not only going to be relevant now, but are going to be relevant for the future of AI coding. Now, I'd love to know which shift you think is going to be the biggest of these, and if you're leaning into any of these shifts already. And if you are building with AI and you want to build apps and software that actually work and launch to real customers, I've got a community helping people do just that over at school.com/AI apps. You can find out more by clicking the link in the description down below. There's over 250 people inside that community who are building real applications and have launched to real customers. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.